Hey, Bob Coppage, CEO of Simplex IT, Crotch the Old Geek, all that good fun stuff. And it's July, which means we are halfway through our year. And it's been interesting. There's been some unique offerings that we've seen that we weren't expecting when 2020 started. But, honestly, I got to say, there's some good things happening as well, oddly enough. So anyway, this is my monthly rant, and we're going to be talking about some birthdays, anniversaries, all that. We'll also be revisiting our values because we just did our quarterly review. We'll talk about a little bit about our progress, how we've been doing as an organization, all that kind of fun stuff. And also we will be talking about some of the new marketing stuff we're doing. A lot of work on LinkedIn, and I think there's some really cool stuff that's going to happen out of that. And also some offerings we're making still about some training and things along those lines. Oh, and of course, we're going to be talking about, because August is coming up, and you know what that means? That means our annual picnic. And what says picnic better than a pandemic? This is late. It's basically the 7th or 8th when this is finally coming out. And for those of you who don't know, my lovely wife, Julie, her birthday is July 2nd. And it was a big one of those N and 0 dates. My birthday is July 3rd. Nobody cares about that. And mine already had the big one a couple of years ago. And then our anniversary is July 4th. So we had, as always, every year, we've got some family. We did some things. Go out to the winery. We love Sarah's Winery, by the way, out by Blossom. They're doing the outdoor seating, and the social distancing is absolutely fantastic. Great staff. Paul and Sarah, talk to either of them. Tell them we sent you. They will probably kick you out. No, they're good people. Anywho, so that is why we were a little bit on the late side. So it being the end of a quarter, second quarter in this case, we always do. We're part of Simplex IT. We follow the Entrepreneurial Operating System, or EOS, also known as Traction. And so we do the management group revisits our quarterly rocks, goals, whatever you want to call it. And then we have an all-in company meeting. Now, obviously, all this stuff is done virtually. But one of the things we always do is we review our values. What are our core values, which is pretty much, jerk-free environment. We do the right thing. Always learning, always sharing. Our fingers don't point. We simplify the complex. Simplex IT, simplify and drama-free. And you'll notice that none of that has to do with blinking lights, because at the end of the day, it's really the value of who we are and what we are that we think is important. And both brings us the clients that we want, but also brings us the employees and the vendors that we want. So we review that every quarter. We also took a look at our progress, and we're doing okay, especially versus a lot of other companies and organizations around here. We had a goal originally at the beginning of the year of revenue goals. We're not hitting them. We're off by a small amount. Our goal was 20% revenue increase for the year. We're on target to do close to that, but not quite. Off by a couple percentage points. I'll take that any day of the week. Profitability is decent as well. And again, those are good things, but we also take a look at a lot of the things we're looking to implement, and we hit about 80% of our targets over the quarter. And again, I'm happy with that. More importantly, I've been meeting with our existing clients and had meetings with about 10 of them, virtually, of course, over the past month, and got a lot of good feedback. There were a couple of things we had to fix, which is why we have these conversations. But even those that we had a couple of things we had to fix, there were very specific issues. They're happy campers, and they recognize the value. They see the value, which we have to do a much better job in terms of communicating what the value is to potential clients. But that's a side note. One shout out to the group Culture Shock, particularly Kimberly Dyer, who are our EOS coaches and who have really helped us move forward on this. So, marketing. For a while there, it was kind of tough. We actually did a lot, and I've spoken about this before. We did a lot of direct mail marketing with follow-up phone calls and all that kind of fun stuff. But we stopped doing that because of, But now we're seeing that it's actually a more appropriate time. However, it's a more appropriate time to do marketing in a very different way than perhaps we've been doing before. And so you'll see a lot of things. One is if you're not linked to us on LinkedIn, to me on LinkedIn, please do so. And it's R.L. Coppage, Robert Coppage, whatever. And here's why. Because we are putting out every day a video by me. It's about a minute long, each of the videos. And they are not sales pitches. They are not all geek information. A lot of them has to do with business insights, quick descriptions of stuff that's going on in the industry and the like. But I'd really love some feedback. Please give me some comments. Now, why am I asking for that? Because that's how this stuff works. The more comments, the more likes that people give, the more likely that this stuff will show up with other people's feeds who have similar interests. So, really interested in seeing how this goes. We posted our first one on Monday, and we like what we saw. It'll be interesting to see. So absolutely, if you're interested, ask me questions about what we're doing and why we're doing it, because you know us, we'll share. But give us a hand on that. Similarly, we are mailing books out to CEOs Survival Guide to Information Technology, and to CEOs who have internal IT department. We're also including a copy of my latest book, I Don't Want Your Job as Co-Managed Services the Right Fit for You. And we're doing that with a follow-on of we just want to talk. We just want to basically see if we can help in any way. And you know us, we are all about helping. So keep an eye on those two aspects, the stuff that we're doing with LinkedIn and also the books that we're sending out. If there's anyone that you know that could have use of our services, which could include you, it could, give me a holler, bob@simplex-it.com. So, for those of you who've known us for a while, you know we started in 2007, in August 2007, and starting in 2008, and ever since then, every year in August, we would always have some kind of an event. Now, for the longest time back when we were in Hudson, we would have a picnic because we had a great backyard with trees and swings and stuff like that. Last couple of years, we've had it at video arcade bars. And those have been cool. This year, because, pandemic and all that kind of thing, and picnic and pandemic, you got to admit, they sound like they belong together. Yeah. Anywho, we will be putting out an announcement in the next couple of weeks of what we are doing. We're pretty sure we know what it is, but we need to work out some of the details. We think it's going to be cool and appropriate. So keep your ears and eyes open, and we'll have some fun. Hey, just also wanted to send out a reminder that Simplex IT is offering free cybersecurity and employee productivity training for 3 months. No strings, no nothing. simplex-it.com/free training. Free. Final story. My wife and I were at a Subway on Sunday, and ahead of us was an elderly gentleman, older than me and not dead yet, weird combination, and a young lady. And everybody was wearing masks because that's what you freaking do, okay? And what was happening is the young lady was, English was not her first language, but she spoke it very well. And you could tell that he was trying to make some comments, and he was trying to be a little bit clever and all that, and she didn't get it. And the tension between the two of them rose. And I want to be very straight here. Neither of them had bad intents. Neither of them were bad people, but they couldn't make the communication. And my point to you is this. Remember that when you have conversations and your faces are concealed, that you lose a huge part of the way that you communicate what your emotions are and what your intent are. So when you're talking to people masked, which you should be masked, make sure you take a little bit of extra time to make sure that your emotions are actually conveyed and communicated well.